Coogan Cassius here for the Cassius and Helder show here on BoxNation. With me I've got Frank Buglioni. First of all, Frank, did you have a good Christmas and New Year?
Yeah, very nice. Thanks, Coogan. Same as always, training over the Christmas, and I'm looking forward to the new year and the new boxing season.
I remember speaking to you on the phone a couple of weeks ago, and I think I saw something on the TV about boxers who train on Christmas Day, and it's like, oh, such a big thing. But it's not really a big thing, because if you've got fights coming up in the next 6 weeks, then you're going to be training Christmas Day.
Yeah, I think it's for a professional sportsman. You've occasions and celebrations, they're sort of irrelevant. You everything is set around your fight dates or the dates you're meant to perform, and that's it. That's the bottom line. So when you get that fight date, you go 10 weeks back, and that's when it starts. Whether that's Christmas Day or your birthday, makes no difference.
I mean, you've not been pro that long. I mean, you've been pro, what, sort of 2 and a bit years? Has it been now?
Just over 3 now.
Really, just over 3
now, Kogan. I'm evolving into the pro game now.
That's it. You're no longer on that, prospect.
A few scars around the eyes, and that's it. I feel good. Yeah.
But I mean, listen, the training over that sort of period, I mean, it's not a frustrating thing, is it? Because this is what you do, and if you've got a fight, like I said, the other side of sort of Christmas into January or February, then that's just part and parcel of it.
Yeah, well, I love training, and I think that's one of my advantages. I look forward to getting up, going for my runs, or doing my strength training, getting in the boxing gym. So I really enjoy it, and I miss it if I'm not training. Sometimes that might be the only downside that I can possibly overtrain, but I've got Steve Collins and Pascal making sure that I do the right amount, and work hard when I need to.
Last time out, you were obviously on the part of the huge Bad Blood card at the XL, and to be fair, you'd have to say you had your toughest opponent to date in Andrew Robinson. Yeah,
well, obviously Kamitsky, I'd say my toughest to date.
Sorry, yeah, of course, but we always knew that the Andrew Robinson fight was gonna be tough. He was an undefeated fighter coming into the fight as well. So, I mean, Kamitsky aside, we're trying to move away from Kamitsky now, but Andrew Robinson would definitely be one of the toughest tests you've had to date.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you know what? If I fought Kamitsky on that night, I think I would have stopped Kamitsky. So Andrew Robinson, yeah, I think he probably is a tougher opposition. Maybe not as technically as good, but certainly toughness-wise and taking a shot, I don't think there's many fighters out there that have got that strength and that willpower. So credit to him there.
I remember sort of talking to you a couple of times after the Kamitsky defeat, and sort of, I suppose you're waiting for people to sort of stop mentioning that Kamitsky defeat. It is out of your system now. You've sort of put wins back to back now, good wins as well. So it's just looking forward to a positive 2015.
Yeah, well, let's remember it's my only defeat, and it was a world level opponent. So I'm not too bothered when people bring it up, and it was a great learning curve for me. And I don't think I'd be as good as what I am now, and had the knowledge and the experience that I've got without that fight. So I wouldn't change it. And now 2015 is going to be a very good year for me, and I want to show the boxing world what Frank Buglioni can do.
Going back to the Andrew Robinson fight, is that what you expected on the night from Andrew Robinson? Because he gave it his all, and like I said, it was I wouldn't say it was a billed as a 50-50 fight, as in I thought it was slightly in your favour going into the fight. Yeah. But did you expect that from Andrew Robinson? What you got, a tough night?
Yeah, I expected him to be a strong, tough boy, but I expected to hurt him, which I did at times, and I think it was the 7th round I caught him, put him over, and it was fortunate that the bell rang just as he got up. I think another 10 seconds and that would have been the fight over. But I'm glad I got the 10 rounds, 10 hard rounds, and he kept coming forward, and we honestly, like, heart of hearts, I thought I probably would have got him out of there. But as I say, 10 rounds is in the bank now, and I'm ready to move on from that.
Obviously, moving forward into 2015, this will be your year where you'll know where you are in the game. You've had your sort of your progression stage, haven't you? And you've had those sort of fights. And now, 2015, you want the best fights available.
Undefeated fighters. I want hungry fighters, and I want sort of championship fights that are going to put me in the next level. And me and Frank Warren and Steve Collins and Pascal, we're all on the same wavelength. We know what we want, and we're going to get there.
A lot of names being mentioned as your links in to a quite noticeable division domestically and obviously worldwide as well. It's very noticeable as well. But someone domestically, a name that keeps popping up, has been for the last sort of few months really, Lee Markham. There's been a bit of Twitter banter going on. I think there's some stuff going on with Steve Goodwin. What's the crack with that at the minute? What's the deal with that?
Well, I'm hoping that they're not bluffing, because they seem to be doing a lot of talking when I've got fights scheduled and opponents named, and as soon as I haven't, they go all quiet. But Steve Goodwin, he wants the 30 grand bet with me. I've said I'm more than happy to take that, so that's on record. So if the fight comes off, I hope he stands by his word and he don't bottle it. And Lee Markham, he's going to get what's coming to him. So hopefully that fight comes off. I really want it. And if you're watching this, Lee Markham, I want the fight. I'm sure you want the fight. I don't think your promoter Steve's got that much faith in you to take the fight. But make sure you stand by your word. Do it.
Lee Markham, 13-14 fights in. I think he suffered an early defeat in his career to Gary Bouldin. But how much of him have you seen? Are you impressed by him at all?
I bashed him up twice in the amateurs. He got the second decision on a little bit of a hometown. I say a hometown. It was one of the worst robberies in amateur boxing, and two of the judges were part of his 5-star boxing club. So they're a little bit crooked, that little mob. And I'd like to get my revenge in the pros. This is a man's game now. It's not a boy's game. He's got to remember he was a man then as well. I was 17 years old. I was still a boy. But he'll be fighting a man now, and I'll walk right through him.
Talking about the super middleweight division domestically, like I said, it's so strong here. Freitz, DeGale, Groves, Callum Smith, all these people. But you're confident that you can make your mark on those names and be involved in the kind of fights that they're in this year?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think George Groves, he's not looked great since the Carl Froch defeat. Hopefully he comes good. I said it before, James DeGale and Callum Smith are my picks because Carl Froch is on the way out. So I think myself, Callum Smith, James DeGale, Rocky Fielding's on the fringes, but I see a few little weaknesses in his armour there. So they're the fights I want to be a part of, and I think by the end of 2015, you'll see who's at the top of the super middleweight tree.
When you switched trainers and went to the Collins camp from the Tibbs' camp, it was considered a little bit of a shock. I don't think a lot of people really saw that coming, but you made that decision, and obviously you're sticking by that now, and it's proved to work for you, would you say?
Yeah, without a doubt. Every fight that goes by, every camp that goes by, I'm getting fitter, stronger, and more knowledgeable, and getting away and training outside of the country in Dublin is really working well for me. So I'm very excited to see what I'm going to be like in 3-4 fights time. That's what I'm very excited about.
I always think moving trainers is always sort of not a drastic move, but it's quite an important move, obviously, going forward. But did you think that there was much wrong before the Kamitsky fight to make that change?
No, I think the Kamitsky fight highlighted a couple of points, and what there was difference in opinions. I mean, what Mark says and does, he believes is right, of course, and what I was saying and what I thought, I believe was right. And what he said may work for another fighter, but what I thought worked for me was going away and doing things slightly differently. And Steve Collins, I'm right along his routes. I've read his book over the Christmas, and there was a lot of similarities and points, especially with his preparation in fights, and it was very comforting and very built my confidence.
Because it could be considered quite a bit of a drastic move to, you haven't had that many fights, and to make that sort of change this early on in your career, to take yourself to a completely different place to situate your training. But that said, if you feel that these things need to be done, they need to be done at whatever time they need to be done. Yeah,
of course. You see fighters change trainers and change scenery all the time, and if you learn from each one, then there's nothing wrong with that. And at the end of the day, you're the boss in there. You're the fighter. You're going through it. You need to do what you feel is right for you. And there's a lot of fighters that have won world titles with all different trainers. So it's what suits the fighter, and that's the bottom line.
Just finally, obviously, you're part of another huge show at the O2, headlined by Tyson Fury and Christian Hammer. Chris Eubank Jr. also on the bill, and it should be a great night at the O2. It's a great venue for boxing, always has been, and obviously, when your fight's sorted out, you'll be looking to sort of steal the show that night.
Well, fingers crossed. That's what I'm in the game for. I always want to be in exciting fights. Much to the disappointment of my close family, they don't like the fights to be too close. But no, I love those 50-50 fights, and I can't deny it. I like a war and I like a tear up. But I'll be boxing a little bit more sensible and just doing some demolition jobs. And fingers crossed, it's Lee Markham. That is going to be a demolition job.
All right. Well, listen, keep us posted on whatever news regarding your opponent on the 20th. If it is Lee Markham, then that should be an interesting showdown between the pair of you.
Top man, Coogan. Fingers crossed, but I ain't got much faith in him or his silly promoter.
All right. Listen, Frank Buglioni, thanks for talking to the Cassius and Elder show. I'll let you get back to your family occasion, and we'll hopefully catch up with you in the lead up to the 28th show in February.
Top man, Coogan. Thanks very much. Happy New Year, and all the best for 2015.
Thank you very much.